Hey guys, I'm out here working on my RV, and one of the things that's always annoying as hell is this little door that has your power coming out of it. And it's got your cable, and it's just like, inviting any mouse that wants to get into your RV. So one of the things is that you can leave this door as a possible storage for something and go in right above it or right next to it with what I'm about to show you now. So let's get over here and I'll show you what I'm going to be putting on and how I'm doing it and what parts. Instead of, you've been there, I'm sure if you're watching this video, you're an RV guy or you're trying to learn about them. What I've got over here is my setup right now. Now, right now I'm hooked up to a 12 gauge cord. It's got an adapter, hate them. And then it's got the 30 amp, 110 volt. These are 110 volt. And look what I did. I ran it through, used the weld glue because it's waterproof and flexible and sticks to all surfaces. And then I have in it an outlet in line. So that when I'm out here with my electric barbecue, well, I'm right here off of the service that would be coming off of your, park or whatever. You can do the same thing with 50 amp too if you wish to do so. So then we go with the cord. And it's a very long cord. It's 32 feet long, odd number, but that's factory. And of course I added a foot, so I got 33 feet right now. This is what I'm dealing with in my setup. Well, I want to keep this, but I'm going to cut that cord over there and we're going to put in this right here. So let me just go show you. Okay, now what I've got here, and I've got my camera light on, so there might be a couple of glare issues. This is from Amico. Pretty good brand, upper grade for the China market, and this will fit into the body of my RV. It has a 30 plus amp. This actually will handle 8 gauge terminals, and it can handle about 40 amps, but so that means it's really safe for good solid 30 amp draw. They do make a 50 amp model, and I'll put a link at the bottom down there with my upload information is where it says upload date of every one of these and the best one. Now there are 4 or 5 different brands. If it doesn't have this type of terminals on it, please stay the hell away from it. This one is marked for ground, for common, and for hot. The 50 amp model is marked with 2 grounds, or what you'd call an open common, a common for the line, a ground, and a hot. And I'll send you a link to both of these. This adapter right here. Now, you can spend $45 buying the adapter that already has this end on it right here, or you can spend $9 buying this. You get the short dog bone adapter for $14 or $15, maybe $16, depends on the market currently, and it is 10 gauge. So if you look down in here, it is a 10 gauge. I don't know where the numbers are for it, but it's 10 gauge, 30 amp. See right there where it says 30 amp, but it has a chicken shit little 15 amp plug on the end of it. Well, this is why you install this. Now you see that little loop right there? This is going to allow you, yes, it's plastic, but it's very strong, and it's made by PowerTech-On, which I recommend. These guys are really good. So PowerTech-On also makes really badass inverters, and I'm going to put you a link to an inverter that we've been using for installs on solar jobs for these little tiny houses I do. Well, I'll put you a link to this inverter brand. They're really freaking good, man. I beat the hell out of them. They still power and run. This is a good adapter that will go on the end of this. So now you'll have this and this. On the end of the cord will be this piece, the cord that you just seen out there at the trailer. Now what I do with these 2 links is I put a link chain that goes back to the trailer with a little small padlock. Makes this not easy to just run off with for your RVs. Anybody having to do that. If you see how thick that is, look how thick my finger there. Very thick, and it is very stout, very strong. This goes on the end of the cable. When I cut it from the trailer, this goes on the end of this into 10 gauge, 30 amp, 30 amp, 30 amp, all good. So, and they're made, like I said, PowerTech-On. This is the best one because if you look in there, it has the folded blade. See it in there? Full contact, not some little tube or nothing. It's real. So we're going to take these apart and get these put together, and I'll show you some steps. All right, now what I've got here is I've got all the parts that I'm working with, and you'll see that it is very good. Now the reason I'm saying this PowerTech On brand, and there might be, I think Amico might make a similar or the identical brand, is if you look at here, look how thick this plastic is. Very thick, and it is very high UV rating. That's excellent. Look how wide, look how heavy these terminals are. This is made for 30 amp, and it's made, it even has a nice wire banding here for cranking down on your wire so it don't slip out, so you don't have that fraying effect, and you know it flexes. You know, I'm sure you got an RV plug, it's casted, and once it starts to short right there, you got problems. However, here is your female, and it is simple. You're going to look at your contacts here, and the contacts, they just lay in there and the back holds them in. But your contacts for your blades will be closed, but your contact for your negative, you see here, it's open and slightly rounded. So it's made for this section over here. It's made for this, and it's very snug. You see that? Very snug. You don't get that effect from the other brands. I've been through these. I service a lot of RVs, so, and I replace a lot of cord ends on people drive up and want that done. I only use these. Now, what we're going to do here is, since this is 10 gauge, and I did find the paperwork on that does show it to be exactly that, 10 AWG for temporary, but it shows 15 amp male to 30 amp, so it's 10 gauge from here back, but them blades are only good for 15 amps. Don't run your big AC units and stuff on these. I mean, you can, but they're only good for 15 amps. They actually have a 22 amps, they'll burn. That's it. And even though you can say, I got 10 gauge cord going into this and this, don't do it. I've got a different adapter that will come and go on for running things like that. It's also just 15, that's all it is, 15 amp. Now my air conditioner, mine is very high efficiency, so it'll run on 9.6 amps, which this would cover. And as long as I'm on batteries running my lights and everything else, and on gas from my refrigerator, I could plug this into the inverter in my truck. And if y'all want to see that, go look at my old videos. You'll see me putting a charge controller, a charge unit in a truck and a big bank of batteries. And my other videos, you'll see me running an RV air conditioner off of that big inverter, which is a Potec slash Peak now, or it was a Peak slash Potec. This is going to go on the front of my RV. Has a cover. It'll be hot when I'm plugged in because it'll all be wired into the one main box. But as long as the cover's on it, nobody's going to get hurt by it. And the other thing is that I'll be able to run a cord from my pickup truck. Underneath my truck, I already have an outlet right there at the bumper. I'll be able to run a cord to my trailer as I'm driving down the road and power it from my inverter. Keep my batteries hot, whatever. I still will have 500 watts of solar on the roof of the trailer. In addition, this is to make everything just like fault-free. I can do anything I want. This unit here comes with a cover on the back so that you don't have any chance there, even though these are recessed. So this is the best brand. I've installed about 6 different brands, and this one, it's an Amico, also sold by, I believe, PowerTech On. Good quality. I don't want to send somebody out here with something that's going to burn their RV down. I don't want to send them out here with something that's going to shock them. So this is how I do it. Now I want to cut this, get the wires ready, put it in here, and I'll show you that. All right, so just taking a regular pair of cutters, I'm going to cut the wires close as I can and just throw away you can see that's very heavy, throw away the adapter on the end that's 15 amp. So that's what I'm going to do there. You can see the different wires. There's the green, the white, and the black. And what we're going to do is we're going to hold it up over here because this goes into this one, and we're going to just put it where our wire length is about right, a little past it, and then I will split it from here down and put the wires in and connect them so that you can get a view on how we're doing this. Now, I run it down the top of the common, and cut it open here. It's a little bit tough, so it takes a little bit to cut it open. Any excess that you might do, don't worry about it. Just make sure your wires are all going to match. Now reach in just enough with a pair of these side cutters and just barely reach. See how I'm barely reaching into that? Not very deep, but you do it right, you can get it to tear away. Try not to nick your wires. All this excess is strain relief material that's inside. Totally unnecessary for something this size. Go ahead and cut it away. It's just basically some fibrous paper mix, plastic paper. Now there's your 3 wires. Now what you've got here is you've got 3 different lengths. So you're going to know that this is your green right there for your ground. And then over here they list it white and black. So white and black. Now that means what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the green long enough to go far enough in there with some spare wire, go past it about 1/2 of an inch, and then I'll cut the black and white off where they end up like this on both sides. And I'll get this together and show you what it looks like. Okay, so now you see that I've got this all connected. This is screwed on. I'm able to put myself a little chain through this one as well as this other one when it's connected. So it will be able to plug in right here and goes to the cord that I'm able to wrap up and place inside my RV, so it doesn't have to be try to shove it back into the side of the port of the RV, and it's a lot nicer setup. Secondary, most generators have this adapter that you would use for your power. So like in the case of my generator down here, this big dual fuel, I'm able to run straight into the side of my trailer. And numerous different adapters like this one can be bought, and they fit everything. Now the generator we're going to be using for the Jayco is sitting here. This is the one that I showed in a test, and I beat the hell out of it. I hit everything it could do in the first 5 minutes of its startup. That was its break-in. You can see the video on that going back about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months of my videos. That generator is dual fuel, and it is really, really dependable. So far, I've welded with it. I've done everything with it. I've got about 30 hours on it. Not very nice treatment because, you know, they told me it was a promo. Test it, load it. If you don't like it, you know, they're not going to say anything. I did the video. It did it. It carried itself. Big 1500 watt heaters. And the other heater that I thought was like a 500 was actually a 700 when I actually turned it around and looked at it. I actually pushed this to the limit all the way and held it there, and it ran. So very good generator, sandstorm generator. So now we're going to take this and we're going to cut in and we're going to access the wires that go into the RV, and that will be how we hook up the RV, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. But you can just imagine the wire that comes out. You're going to leave a little slack in it. You're going to make it come through the hole you drill for this, which I think is 2 3/8 or something, and you're going to hook it up and then push it back in. It'll all still be inside there, inside where your wire is at. You can mount it above it, below it. It has a nice foam seal. It comes with screws, everything else you need. And this way, nobody can cut your cord, or you won't drag your cord down the road. I've seen that. And you'll be able to disconnect it, stash it inside your RV instead of trying to shove it up in there, and it also prevents rodents and other things from getting in through your electrical doors if you don't have one anymore. So let's get that done now, and I'll show you the final results. All right, now back out here on the RV, I've got everything set up. We're going to be taking this drill with this 2 3/8 hole saw for that to be mounted through. Now I've gone inside the RV and I've discovered that it has right here is the base. Underneath here is a board that goes up, and there is a where the wire shoots up through there in the cabinet in the bathroom. So what we're doing is we're going to go right above it, right up here, about 10 inches above it, and we're going to drill straight through into the cabinet area of the bathroom. And I'll show you right now what that looks like. All right, now I've got my power distribution that comes in right here. It's got a 10 gauge and a 12 gauge. The 12 gauge goes to the converter that converts DC voltage. The other 10 gauge goes to power the breakers that are in the trailer for 30 amps of service. Here is the cable, and it goes down through here like this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to drill through, and we're going to come through just right about there in the middle, right behind the water lines. The water lines are about 7 inches out, and we're going to hook up right down inside of here so it's fully weatherproof and easy to access for service. All right, now we've got the inlet socket wired in, and here's the cable going into the RV. I've drilled a 2 3/8 hole. We're going to now turn it to where it has a weatherproof seal, so when this is closed, after the screws go in, and go ahead and get the screws put in on it. Make sure you're nice and squared on that. It only requires a 2-inch hole, but they ask you to do the 2 3/8 so that you're free of any metal that might touch anything like wires or contacts. So in my case, we're going to be secured all the way around, and then I will go ahead later and I'll put a little tiny bit of a caulk seal around everything. But it has the foam gasket, and it's a very dependable foam gasket, this model is. And there we go. Now we've got that mounted. We're able to use this adapter right here and thread it straight in, and you'll see that it's only one way that it will go. So it will fit in like so. And then you're going to tighten this down, and it keeps it from being pulled out. The power source will now have that other end placed on it, and you can plug it in just like that. So you can plug this in right here when we put this cord together like we did that one there. So this is very flexible, and when this is like that, you can put it down. It also keeps moisture off of it. This is how you do it. Now down here, we will take this and we will apply this little box in here for storing the dog bone that we've made inside of there, and put the cord in the RV. All right, that's it, guys. Not that complicated, not that hard. You've seen where I went inside. There it is hooked up. It's all easy to be used for your generators, and no more cords having to shove them back in there. No more mice getting in, because they can slip in a 1/2-inch hole, man. They'll fit. But now we are able to close it up, seal it up, and use it to store that in. The wire will be in the back hatch. The rest of it right there for when we need it, and easily adapted to your generators. All right, y'all be good. All your links will be at the bottom of the video or in a pinned comment there. Look down the comments, you'll see it.